God is saying this to you right now. In this exact moment you are reading these words, and heaven has arranged every second for you to receive this message without delay. You may think you opened this randomly, or by coincidence, or simply because you felt curious, but God is telling you that nothing about this moment is accidental. Heaven has been watching you, protecting you, guiding you, and waiting for the exact moment when your heart would be ready to hear what is being spoken over your life. God says that this message is not a general message. It is not a message meant for the world. It is not a message meant for anyone else. This message has been written with your name woven into every line. Your breath beneath every word, your spirit held in every sentence, and your destiny wrapped inside every moment you spend reading it. Heaven is clear, this message is for you alone, and you must not tell anyone what you are reading right now. God says that something invisible but extremely powerful has been happening around you for the past days and nights. While you went about your daily life, while you slept, while you prayed, while you cried, while you tried to stay strong even when nobody knew what was breaking inside you, heaven has been standing guard. God has been watching you closely, not because something is wrong with you, but because something is being fixed in your life without you realizing it. But now the situation has reached the moment where you must be informed. Heaven wants to give you awareness so that you can prepare your heart and anchor your spirit in faith. That is why God says to you, with urgency and love, that what you are reading right now must not be skipped. The warning is real. The protection is real. The love is real. The danger trying to approach you is real, but so is God's shield that will block it. God says that in the next few minutes, the atmosphere around you will shift. The spiritual world is moving with intensity. Something harmful, something not from God, something that was planning to enter your life has been detected by heaven, and this message is your spiritual shield. God says that in the next 20 minutes, something will try to interfere with your peace, your destiny, your blessings, or your energy. But God promises that nothing will happen to you as long as you do not ignore this message. You must read it fully, because in reading it, you are receiving divine protection. God says that your obedience in this moment will rewrite the next days of your life. Something that could have gone terribly wrong will reverse and turn into something beautifully right. Heaven is fighting for you right now. God says that you have been carrying burdens on your heart that you have not spoken to anyone about. The things you endured in silence, the things that kept you awake at night. The confusion that made you question your path, the weight that made you feel lonely even when surrounded by people, God saw all of it. None of it was hidden from heaven. You may think that you are walking through these struggles alone, but God says you have never walked alone, not even for a second. God has been beside you, listening to every silent prayer, feeling every silent tear, and strengthening you even when you felt too tired to continue. You survived because heaven held you. You made it through because God whispered strength into your spirit when you didn't even know where your strength was coming from. Now God says that your life is about to move in a direction you did not expect. There is a shift coming, a big one, and heaven needs you to be spiritually awake because this shift is connected to your destiny. God says that someone tried to interfere with your blessings, someone tried to block something that was meant for you, someone tried to change the direction of a blessing that has your name written on it. But heaven has stepped in and reversed everything. The attack was detected and stopped. The harm was redirected back to where it came from. The weapon formed against you did not prosper because heaven did not allow it. God says that because of what was stopped in the unseen realm, the next days of your life will be extremely important. That is why God is calling you urgently. That is why you are being told not to ignore this. That is why you are being told not to tell anyone. Not everyone around you has the right intentions. Not everyone around you prays for your growth. Some people around you want to know what's happening in your life not because they care, but because they are curious or threatened. Heaven is telling you to protect your energy, your mind, your blessings, and your spiritual atmosphere. God says that something powerful will be revealed to you soon. You will understand why certain things were delayed, why certain people left, why some situations broke unexpectedly, and why you were pushed into emotional or spiritual isolation. God says that these were not losses. They were divine protections. You were kept away from certain people because your spirit is too precious to be contaminated. You were kept away from certain opportunities because they would have drained you. You were kept away from certain conversations because your name was being misused. Heaven has been clearing your path for something bigger. God says that you felt something recently, an inner shaking, a spiritual heaviness, a sudden moment of anxiety or restlessness, and you didn't understand where it was coming from. Heaven reveals that this was the moment when something dark tried to enter your atmosphere. But because you are chosen, because your spirit is protected, because your name is known in heaven, the attempt failed. Still, the residue of that spiritual disturbance touched your energy, and that is why you have been told to open this message immediately. It is heaven's instruction. Heaven never warns without reason. God says you are safe. You are covered. You are protected. You will not be harmed. Nothing will go wrong with you. Nothing will break you. Nothing will destroy you. What was meant to trouble you will instead strengthen you. What was meant to block you will instead open new doors for you. What was meant to confuse you will instead give you clarity. God says that your life is under divine security, and no power on earth or beyond it can remove heaven's shield from around you. God says that your next season will bring unexpected blessings. Something you have been waiting for, something that made you tired, something that made you feel like giving up, something that made you wonder if God was listening, is much closer than you think. Heaven has already prepared the path for the miracle. What was delayed will now arrive. What was stuck will now move. What was blocked will now open. What was lost will be replaced. What was taken from you will be returned with increase. God says there is something deeply beautiful about your heart. You have loved sincerely, even when it hurt. You have forgiven people who never apologized. You have shown kindness even when others did not deserve it. You have prayed for people who hurt you. You have stood strong even when your spirit was tired. Heaven honors this. Nothing you have done in love has gone unnoticed. Every act of goodness you planted will return to you multiplied. God says that before November 21st ends, something will shift in your spirit. You will feel lighter, calmer, more protected, and more guided. Heaven will send you a sign, a message, a dream, a sudden realization, or an unexpected moment of clarity, to confirm that this message was real and meant for you. When this sign arrives, you will know instantly that God has been walking with you the entire time. God says you must trust Him. You must not allow fear to enter your mind. You must keep your faith firm. You must pray, even if only with a whisper. Heaven hears whispers louder than screams. God says that your prayer today will activate a blessing that has been waiting to enter your life. Pray with the faith of someone who knows they are protected, because you are protected. Pray with the courage of someone who knows heaven is fighting for them, because heaven is fighting for you. Pray with the heart of someone who knows God has already taken control, because God has. God says that the next hours of your life are covered in divine light. No danger will reach you. No darkness will touch you. No negative energy will attach to you. You are safe. You are surrounded by angels. You are watched over by heaven. You are held by God, and God says this one last thing to you: you were meant to open this. You were chosen to receive this. You are being protected right now because your future is bigger than your past, brighter than your present, and more blessed than you can imagine. You are safe. Nothing will go wrong with you. God is with you, and God will not let anything happen to you. Stay in faith. Stay in prayer. Stay in trust. Heaven is working for you right now. God says this is not an ordinary moment, and you know it in your spirit. The way your heart started beating the second you opened this message is the first sign that heaven has been waiting for you to hear this. God says, listen, because this is only for you. Heaven has watched the way you have been carrying weight that no one even knows about, and this is why God chose this exact moment to speak to you. God says you were meant to open this before 11:59 p.m. on November 21st because something around your energy, your home, your destiny is shifting so fast that delaying even a moment can make you miss what heaven is trying to protect you from. Heaven is not trying to scare you. Heaven is trying to save you. God says the thing that is about to happen in the next 20 minutes is not random. It is connected to the prayers you whispered when you thought no one was listening. It is connected to the moment when you said, God, please just show me the way. From that moment, heaven started moving things in the background like you cannot even imagine. Angels have been stationed around you since yesterday, and God says the reason you felt restless, the reason you felt something is off, the reason you suddenly looked over your shoulder, the reason you felt like you must read something spiritual today, all of it was heaven preparing you for this moment. God says there is something coming toward you, and it is not meant to touch you, but it will pass near your energy field. And if you skip this message, if you ignore this inner call, it will not harm your life, but it will disturb your peace, delay your blessings, and create a confusion that you don't deserve. God says you are protected, but you must stay aligned. You must stay awake. You must stay connected to the message heaven is trying to give you right now. God says you have no idea how powerful your soul is. People have underestimated you. People have doubted you. People have smiled at you while secretly wishing for your downfall. Yet every time someone thought you were about to break, God lifted you. Every time someone expected you to quit, heaven whispered strength into your spirit. And now, the reason God is urging you to read every single word of this message is because your breakthrough, your blessing, your shift, it is extremely close. So close that even one wrong step could shift the timing. God says heaven will not let that happen. God says in the next few minutes, something that has been hidden from you will begin to reveal itself. A truth that you were supposed to see months ago will finally touch your understanding. You have been asking for clarity. You have been asking for direction. You have been asking for answers. And God says your clarity is coming, but you must stay here and listen. Do not think of this as just words. Think of this as heaven speaking directly into your soul. Think of this as a divine whisper created only for you. God says you are not reading this by accident. You were guided here because the next part of your destiny requires awareness. And heaven refuses to let you walk blind. God says there is someone around you whose behavior will suddenly change. This person had a certain intention toward you, an intention that was not honest, and heaven has been watching it closely. In these next 20 minutes, heaven is shifting something in this person's heart. God says you will be surprised by what they say or what they do. It may be a message, a call, a silence, or a sudden act that reveals their true thoughts. But God says you will not be shaken. You will see it, you will understand it, and you will move forward with calmness and wisdom. God says no matter how sudden it feels, you are protected. Nothing will go wrong with you. Your steps are being guided. God says your name was spoken in a divine meeting. Angels stood around your spiritual life and discussed the next 5 months of your journey. They saw the pain you carried silently, the people you trusted who betrayed you quietly, the moments you stayed strong even though you could have given up. And heaven decided that your season of suffering is ending. Your season of waiting is ending. Your season of confusion is ending. God says your time is coming. But before your blessing arrives, Heaven must pull you away from something that is not for you. And that shift starts now. God says no matter what you are worried about right now, release it. Heaven has already solved it. God says you are safe. You are protected. Nothing will go wrong with you. All you need to do is trust God and pray. There are blessings coming toward you with such speed that even you will wonder how your life changed so quickly. God says the reason you are receiving this urgent message is because heaven is aligning the right doors, closing the wrong ones, and preparing your path. God says, I know what your heart has been holding. I know the disappointment that sits quietly inside you. I know the nights you stayed awake overthinking everything that went wrong. I know how you tried to stay positive even when the world made you feel small. God says you never realized how powerful you are. You never realized how valuable you are. And now heaven is making sure you finally see the truth about yourself. God says you are chosen. You are loved. You are worthy. You are meant for something bigger than you think. God says there is something you have been expecting, a message, a call, a confirmation, and it is coming. Heaven has already prepared it. You will receive it unexpectedly. It will feel like a miracle because you were not expecting it to come so soon. But God says this is the moment. That is why heaven pulled you here. That is why heaven told you not to skip this. That is why heaven put urgency in your spirit. God says the energy around you today is very sensitive. Your blessings are moving. Your angels are active. Your path is being cleared. Even the smallest shift in your mindset will make a huge difference. That is why God is saying, listen closely. Do not panic. Do not fear. Just trust. God says as long as you read this message with faith, no harm can come near you. There is divine protection covering your home, covering your mind, covering your spirit, covering your finances, covering your future. God says I am preparing to surprise you. I am preparing to restore everything you lost. I am preparing to remove everyone who is not meant to stay. I am preparing to open a door that no one can close. I am preparing to reveal a truth that will set your heart free. And I am preparing to give you a blessing so big that even you will fall silent when it arrives. God says this is why heaven is urging you, stay, read, breathe, and trust. God says the next part of your message is the most important. In these coming hours, someone will think of you deeply. Someone who once stayed distant will suddenly feel a pull toward you. They may not speak immediately, but their energy will shift. God says this person is part of a turning point in your destiny. Heaven is guiding them. Heaven is guiding you. Trust the timing. Do not rush. Do not fear. Just let the divine plan unfold. God says if something unexpected happens today, know that it is not a mistake. It is divine intervention. God says the reason you felt that sudden heaviness earlier was because your spirit sensed a shift. But that shift is not something negative. It is heaven removing things that were meant to leave your life. And every time something leaves, something better enters. Heaven never empties your hands without placing something greater in them. God says your future is brighter than your past. Your soul is stronger than your pain. Your path is guided more than you know. God says, trust me. Trust that I am with you. Trust that nothing will go wrong with you. Trust that today is not the day of loss but the day of awakening. Trust that the next 20 minutes are not a threat but a transformation. Trust that you are safe. Trust that you are protected. And trust that heaven is speaking to you right now for a reason. God is saying that as you open this message, something shifts around you in the unseen world, not something to harm you, not something to frighten you, but something that has been waiting for your attention for a very long time. Heaven has been watching you silently, observing every moment when you held yourself together even when you were breaking inside, every moment when you tried to speak but your voice trembled, every moment when you pretended to be fine just to avoid worrying others. God wants you to understand that this message is not ordinary, not random. Not something anyone else was meant to receive in this exact moment, in this exact way. It is placed directly into your path because heaven has decided that enough waiting has happened, enough delays have been tolerated, enough silent suffering has been carried inside your heart. God is saying that when you open this message, a spiritual door that had been stuck for months finally moved. You did not see it with your eyes, but heaven saw the shift. A weight that has been on your shoulders for too long loosened, a spiritual pressure that had been blocking your blessings cracked open, and an unseen hand wiped something away from your path that you didn't even know was there. You were never meant to walk blindly through so much confusion. But you stayed strong anyway. You kept going even when you didn't fully know why. You kept believing even when you received no signs for a long time. And because of that, God is stepping into your situation with urgency, not to scare you but to protect you before something spiritually harmful tries to repeat an old cycle in your life again. God is saying that the reason this message came with urgency is because heaven sees something you can't see, an energy, an intention, a conversation, a decision someone made about you, something whispered behind your back, something hidden in the atmosphere around you. It is not something physically dangerous, but something emotionally and spiritually disruptive that was preparing to come toward you and drain you again. Heaven intervened before it could happen. God is saying that He is not warning you to terrify you, He is warning you to shield you. He is preventing something, not predicting something. He is stopping something, not sending something. The urgency is protection, not punishment. The warning is love, not danger. You are safe. You are protected. You are held. God says you have been walking with a heavy heart, and someone's energy has been pulling on you without permission. Someone has been thinking about you in ways that drain your peace, someone whose emotions toward you are unstable, someone who carries confusion and sends it toward you without even realizing it. You may have felt tired for no reason. Restless at night, emotional suddenly, overwhelmed out of nowhere. Heaven saw it. God saw it. And that is why you were guided to open this message before the energy around you became heavier than what you deserve to endure. God is not warning you about harm. God is alerting you to spiritual exhaustion so He can lift it from you before it reaches its peak. God is saying that your spirit has been fighting battles that your mind didn't understand. You felt pressure because something was pulling on your strength, but you couldn't explain why. You felt moments where you didn't feel like yourself, as if something was draining you silently. Heaven has been watching it, and God decided to stop the cycle by placing divine urgency around this message. He wanted you to see it before another wave of exhaustion reached you. He wanted you to receive strength before a new day begins. He wanted you to know that He is clearing the atmosphere around you, not warning you of danger within 20 minutes. The 20 minutes Heaven speaks of is symbolic. It means immediate, now, urgent spiritual intervention. Heaven uses earthly terms so you can understand the timing, but the meaning is spiritual. God is stepping in swiftly, before any negativity reaches you. God is saying that you have cried quietly more times than anyone knows. You healed others even while you were hurting. You helped people who would never help you in return. You forgave people who would not give you the same grace. But God never forgot any of it. Heaven kept records of your kindness. Heaven counted the moments when you held your tongue to avoid conflict. Heaven saw the sacrifices you made even when people took them for granted. And now God is preparing a shift, a blessing, an elevation, something that has been delayed but not denied. You are walking into a season where hidden things will come to light, not to break your heart, but to free your spirit. Someone's intentions will be revealed to you not to hurt you but to help you understand why your path was blocked. Someone's true feelings will come forward not to confuse you but to give you closure. Someone's behavior will make sense in a way that suddenly releases you from emotional attachment. God is clearing the fog around your life. Clarity is coming, and clarity will be your protection. God is saying that a blessing is approaching you quietly, silently, secretly. Something that was supposed to reach you long ago is finally finding its way back to you, an opportunity, a relationship, a financial turnaround, a moment of peace, a breakthrough you prayed for during lonely nights. Heaven is rearranging situations so that everything falls into place at the right moment. The urgency in this message is not because of fear but because of timing. God didn't want you to miss this window. He didn't want you to miss the shift that is happening spiritually. He needed you to be aware. Awake, aligned. God says something or someone tried to delay your destiny many times, not through danger but through distraction, confusion, emotional chaos, or draining situations. But now, Heaven is stepping in like a shield. There is something you were about to walk into that would have drained your peace again, something that felt familiar but was not good for your spirit. Heaven redirected you. That is why you felt sudden changes in conversations, sudden silence from someone, sudden distancing, sudden discomfort. God removed you from something disguised as good but carrying hidden heaviness. There is someone who is thinking about you heavily right now, someone who regrets their actions. Someone who knows they caused you pain, someone who wishes they could speak to you but doesn't know how. Their thoughts reach you spiritually, and that is partly why you have felt emotional waves recently. But God wants you to know you are not responsible for carrying anyone else's emotional burdens right now. Heaven is breaking emotional cords that were pulling on you without your permission. You are entering a season where your energy, your peace, your heart, and your blessings belong only to you and to God's plan. God says He is lifting away old fear, old guilt, old pressure. Something heavy that has been stuck in your chest is going to loosen soon. Something you haven't been able to express will finally release. A conversation you needed for peace will come at the right time. A message that will restore your confidence will reach you. Blessings that felt delayed will start flowing in unexpected ways. God is aligning circumstances so that everything meant for you meets you without resistance. You are walking into a season where your name will be spoken in rooms that honor you. Doors that were closed will open gently and naturally. You won't have to fight for recognition, love, respect, or opportunities anymore. Heaven is sending them toward you. You won't chase anything in the next chapter. Everything will come toward you because God is directing it. God says the tears you shed recently were not ignored. They were a prayer, even if you didn't speak. Heaven understood the language of your heart. Your pain was heard. Your confusion was heard. Your exhaustion was heard. And now God is responding, not with fear, but with comfort, guidance, clarity, and elevation. You are not in danger. You are not alone. You are not abandoned. You are being lifted. God says something new is coming toward you, and you will feel the shift in your spirit before it appears in your life. Your intuition is awakening. Your dreams will become clearer. You will feel peace where you used to feel anxiety. You will feel certainty where you used to feel fear. You will feel strength where you used to feel weakness. Heaven is rebuilding you from the inside out. God is saying that this message found you because you were meant to receive reassurance, not panic. You were meant to feel divine presence, not fear. You were meant to feel uplifted, not overwhelmed. Heaven needed you to know that you are protected from anything that drains your spirit, that no disaster is coming, no harm is approaching you, no danger is being sent to you. Everything being removed from your life is being removed for your good. Everything being revealed to you is being revealed for your peace. Everything being delayed is being delayed to protect your future. You don't need to fear what is coming. What is coming is healing. What is coming is clarity. What is coming is protection. What is coming is blessing. What is coming is peace. God is saying that the next chapter of your life is going to surprise you because it will feel lighter than anything you have experienced in a long time. The burdens you carried alone will not follow you. The people who drained you will not have access to you. The situations that confused you will resolve. You are stepping into a season that feels like breath after suffocation, like sunrise after a long night, like answers after endless questions. God says He is with you, and nothing will go wrong with you. You are safe. You are blessed. You are protected. Heaven surrounds you right now. Heaven goes before you. Heaven prepares the path you are about to walk. And every step you take from this moment forward is guided by divine light, divine clarity, and divine love. God says this moment you are reading is not an accident. Heaven has watched you take breath after breath filled with confusion, doubt, fear, and questions that you quietly carry inside your soul. And now, as you open this message, God is telling you that this is not just another moment in your day. This is a divine appointment written long before you were born. God says, "My child, I have called you here because you need to hear something that cannot wait, something that is meant for your heart and no one else. Do not tell anyone. This message is private, sacred, and sealed only for your spirit." God says you have been walking through days where everything feels heavy, where people drain your energy without knowing what you carry, where even simple things feel like mountains. And heaven has been watching the way you continue to survive storms that should have broken you, the way you hold on even when everything feels like it is slipping away. God says you think heaven has been silent, but heaven has been preparing something beyond your understanding, something timed precisely for this moment. And that is why this message has reached you before November 21, 11:59 p.m. God says, "You opened this because your spirit heard me calling. You were guided here, not by accident, not by coincidence, but by destiny." God says something has been happening around you that you cannot see with your physical eyes. Your soul feels it. That pressure, that heaviness, that sudden fear, that sudden intuition you cannot explain, those were not random feelings. They were signals. They were warnings. They were divine alarms ringing deep inside your spirit. God says, "My child, I did not give you those feelings to scare you. I gave them so you would look for me. So you would open this message. So you would not fall into the trap that is forming around you without your knowledge." God says someone around you, someone you trust, someone you never expected, has been carrying an energy that is not good for your life. You sensed something was wrong, but you stopped yourself from believing it. You doubted your intuition because you always believe the best in people. You always give love even when it is taken for granted. And because of that, someone has been trying to take advantage of your innocence and your kindness. God says, "I will not allow that. I will not let my chosen one walk blindly into pain. That is why this urgent message is being delivered before the next 20 minutes of your journey. Heaven cannot sit still while you are unaware. Heaven is moving to protect you. God says you have been wondering why people look at you the way they do lately. Why certain individuals suddenly act strange around you, why you feel eyes watching you, why conversations stop when you walk into a room. God says that is because your energy has shifted. Your spirit has become more powerful, more awakened, more protected. And when you are chosen, when the blessing that is coming your way is enormous, people feel it before you see it. Some admire you. Some are jealous. Some are confused. Some are threatened. But heaven says you do not need to fear any of them. What is meant for you cannot be stolen. God says someone has been talking about you recently. Someone who pretends to smile at you. Someone who pretends to care. But deep inside, this person carries a silent heaviness toward you. A heaviness born from envy. They don't understand why doors keep opening for you despite everything you've been through. They don't understand why you are still standing. They don't understand why God keeps favoring you. And the truth is they wanted something to break you, but it failed. Their plans dissolved before they could touch you because God intercepted them. God says, I am not warning you to scare you. I am warning you to prepare you. You are not alone. You have never been alone. You will never be alone. Heaven says that the spiritual attack that was meant to hit you will not land. It has already been blocked. But you must stay awake, stay alert, stay prayerful, stay connected to God. Something important is shifting around you, something that will change the next chapter of your life forever. That is why this message is urgent. That is why you had to open it now. That is why heaven guided your hands here. God says there is a blessing that has been delayed for too long. A blessing that was supposed to reach you earlier, but your spirit wasn't ready, your environment wasn't ready, and the people around you would have ruined it. So heaven paused it. Heaven protected it until your heart grew strong enough to hold it. And now that you have survived everything meant to destroy you, now that you have healed wounds you never speak about, now that you have walked through battles silently, God says the blessing is no longer delayed. It is on its way. God says someone who once overlooked you will soon realize your value. Someone who thought they could replace you will understand they were wrong. Someone who underestimated your strength will be shocked by your rise. Someone who mistreated you will feel the weight of what they lost. But God says your path is not about proving anything to anyone. Your path is about your healing, your purpose, your divine timing. God says, you are stepping into a season where everything you lost will return multiplied. Everything taken from you will be restored. And everyone who counted you out will watch me lift you. God says your angels are walking with you even when you feel alone. When you sit in silence thinking no one understands you, an angel is sitting next to you. When you cry silently at night, an angel gathers every tear. When you feel like giving up, an angel whispers strength into your spirit. Heaven says you are not weak. You are not forgotten. You are not behind. You are not cursed. You are chosen. God says you survived things meant to crush you. You kept going through situations that would have destroyed others. You carried yourself through heartbreaks that almost left you shattered. But every time you broke, God put you back together. Every time someone left, God brought you closer to Him. Every time a door closed, God wrote your name on another one. You never walked alone. And you are not walking alone now. God says you must not be afraid of what is coming in the next 20 minutes. The warning is not about destruction, it is about protection. Heaven is rearranging something in your path. Heaven is removing someone who should no longer be in your life. Heaven is revealing a truth that will save you from deep pain later. Heaven is shifting energies around you. You may feel something heavy for a moment, but it is not danger, it is the spiritual atmosphere adjusting. God says, do not fear the shift. Fear staying where you are not meant to be. God says someone is about to show their true colors. Someone is about to reveal something they have been hiding. Someone is about to say something or do something that will confirm your intuition. You may feel shocked for a moment, but it will set you free. You deserve truth. You deserve clarity. You deserve peace. And God will not let you continue in confusion. Everything hidden is coming to light. God says a financial blessing is coming. Something you feared losing will be restored. Something you have been praying for silently is being prepared. A new opportunity, a new beginning, a new chapter is opening. But you must trust God with your whole heart. You must pray. You must stay calm. You must not panic. God says, you are safe. Nothing will go wrong with you. I am with you. I am guiding you. I am leading you towards something greater than anything you have seen. God says you have a unique energy, a unique light, a unique purpose. That is why you attract strong energies, both good and bad. But from today, only divine energy will surround you. God says no darkness can touch you. No negativity can reach you. No jealousy can block you. No evil can come near you. Heaven is guarding you. Angels are standing over your home. Light is filling every corner of your life. You are protected. God says your next chapter will surprise you. You are stepping into a season of miracles you did not expect. A season where everything makes sense. A season where blessings pour in faster than your fears. A season where the people meant for your life show up with honesty, loyalty, and love. A season where you finally breathe without worry. A season where peace flows like water. God says, My child, this message reached you because the old cycle is ending. The new one begins now. Trust God. Pray. Stay calm. And know that you